Super Bowl 45 props. This is my second best bet. Marco, this one's simple. We might do a 3-minute video here. The Steelers have a world-class rush defense. Agree or not?
Absolutely.
The Steelers are susceptible, like anyone, to trick running plays, though I think they do better than average against them. They're susceptible to quarterback scrambles, which Rodgers is a great runner. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the number one back for the other team, I don't think I've ever seen a team that does better at just shutting down that other back. Now, we got James Starks. Now, let me ask you this question. On a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being Walter Payton in his prime, 0 being a guy that just got caught, how good is this Starks in your opinion?
He's come out of nowhere in the last few weeks for Green Bay.
Come out to do what though?
Well, I mean they have had success the last month with their running game.
But is it something an average NFL back, was he making runs from what you've seen where it's like, wow, the average back doesn't make those 7 yards, but he did?
I think it's a combination of the defenses, when they face Green Bay, they're so concerned about the passing game that I think the running game is almost an afterthought. It's almost the element of surprise. You're dropping back, backpedaling, worrying about Rodgers.
So the Steelers don't do that.
They don't. I agree with you.
The Steelers will not allow teams to run on it, probably to their detriment sometimes, where why not give them 4 yards now and again and do better against those passes? But it seems to be a sense of pride that they literally will not allow themselves to be run on, especially the number one back. So I guess my question is, how in the world is this number 50.5? I mean, it just makes no sense to me that this guy is going to have 70, 80 yards. And again, it's all, he only needs 51, but it just feels like when the Steelers only give up 63 yards a game rushing anyway, and you figure Rodgers is, going to be good for 1 or 2 scrambles, 15 or 20 yards, and you figure Green Bay is going to be throwing the ball anyway, how do you get to 50.5 here? This just seems like people are simply not understanding how good the Steeler rush D is, and they've been a little bit fooled by what they've seen from Starks. That's my take.
I can't disagree with you. And, there's a lot of speculation, like you said, whether McCarthy is or is not going to try to run. The Steeler defense is definitely different than anything they've faced, but in the last 6 weeks, the Green Bay offense has run the ball 31 or more times in 5 of the 6 games.
Well, I got to tell you, how many times liking Pittsburgh, if they do run 30 times without a big lead, it's one thing when and again, they're in the lead in those games. If it's tight in the third quarter, the token runs in the first quarter, I totally get it. But if it's tight in the third quarter, are they still going to, on 3rd and 6, are they going to try to run the ball,
Oh,
2nd and 10?
Not. Yeah.
So I just think it's a pure value play based upon the public or the lines maker underestimating or overestimating Starks, underestimating the Steeler run D.
Can't argue with you.
Okay, next up is, well, first of all, you can join Marco and I in the conversation about this prop. And then next up, I'm going to be talking about my 3rd best bet.